Okay, there it is. All right. And Kate, is that, or no,
Laura.
Laura, Marc Ang, Laura Donahue,
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
So I'm the Director of Legislation and Advocacy for Best Friends Animal Society. And I get the fortunate pleasure of advocating for laws that actually align with the ALEC values. So that's why we're here.
Awesome. So yeah, let's hear how that aligns, because at first I was so stoked when yesterday you had the little vodka teeny
Cosmopolitan.
Yes. It was delicious. It was dangerous because I had like 2 or 3 and I was like, I can't taste any alcohol, and then I'm like, woo. So but I got so excited because obviously I brought my little Pugsley here, and you had 4 really cute animals.
Actually, it's 6.
Oh, I only saw 4.
Okay, yeah. We ended up having 2 more come at the end.
Oh, in the end. Okay.
Yeah, so we were representing.
Awesome. So what is that connection with, obviously this more legislative, wonky political side of things?
Yeah, well, as we all know, all politics are local, and your local animal shelter is actually completely governed by local ordinances and state laws. And so the facility that, can dictate whether or not that cat or dog lives is very much tied to whatever the policy priorities are for that community or that state. And those can either facilitate death or enable life saving.
So that's very interesting. And there's, it's really that black and white, right?
Yeah.
It's a kill shelter or a no kill shelter, right?
Right.
So what is the current lay of the land?
So our current sheltering system, the sort of animal pound, animal controlled dog catcher model that evolved in the 50s when we had a rabies pandemic, is still very much what your common pounder shelter model is. So it's this kind of knee-jerk to, I see a stray animal, we must immediately capture it, bring it to this brick and mortar facility, and put it in a cage. And that's the old rabies model. And we've actually had that under control for a few decades now.
Okay.
So there's no need to take what appears to be, a healthy, for example, cat that appears to be thriving in its environment, and see it and identify, I think it might be a stray. We got to put it in the dog catcher truck and drive it sometimes many counties over to put it in a facility to care for, and then most likely kill it. And I say most likely kill it because cats are dying 2 to 1 over dogs in shelters.
Oh, gosh.
So.
Thanks for sharing that statistic. That's terrible.
Yeah, and they're entering shelters at a much lower rate. So it's not even like they're entering at the same rate, and they're still being killed at a 2 to 1.
Because there are more dog lovers than cat.
Well, I think that we actually have a lot of community cats, and they're, doing just fine in the community. They're probably have multiple caregivers. They're sort of embraced by people in the community, and we're just sort of rounding them up and wholesale killing them. But they're, they may have multiple people that care for them. They might not be tied to one owner. And so, cat goes missing, maybe no one's going to go looking for it.
Are you based in California, or what's...
our headquarters are in Kanab, Utah.
Okay.
We have a sanctuary there, just a few hundred acres. With in the majestic Red Rock setting.
Beautiful.
It's a great place for animals to go for their last stop, because they get to ultimately live out their life if they don't get adopted there.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful place. We now have 5 other facilities or life-saving centers across the country, but we work outside of our own facilities. So we provide technical assistance to anyone who needs help at any level. We will come and do shelter assessment. We'll come and sit down with your county commissioners, your city council, and help them with their ordinances, and then we work on some state policy too.
And where are those other 5 locations?
So we're in Salt Lake City, we're in Los Angeles, we're in Houston, Texas, Atlanta, Georgia, New York City, and then we're actually building a state-of-the-art, it's the shelter of the future in Bentonville, Arkansas, Northwest Arkansas.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And why that location? The other ones are major metros, and at Utah I get because that's your home.
Yeah. Well, we're actually partnering with the Walton family. Walmart.
Yes.
And
Makes
Northwest
sense.
Arkansas has, it definitely has a big life-saving gap, but it's also known for being an innovative, area, thanks to the Walmart brand. Very innovative. And so they love the model that we have, which is actually leans right into the solution, which is more community-supported sheltering approaches. So we don't need to build bigger, we don't need to have these like tax increases to build these bigger shelters to save more animals. More cages does not equal life-saving.
Right.
And that's what COVID taught us. And that's good news for local government because it's expensive to create giant animal care facilities.
Right.
So, we still need those facilities for animals that are sick or injured or have behavioral problems and need that programming. That's what that space should be safe for. But if you're a healthy, adoptable animal or a community cat, let's not round you up and put you in that building.
Right. So yeah, fascinating. So a few, obviously I'm on the ground, I see this, and I don't know what's a kill shelter, what's a no-kill shelter. What is the lay of the land in regards to that? What's the ratios?
Yeah.
Are most shelters kill shelters right now?
So collectively as a country, we are at about 80% if you average it out, and our goal is to get to 90% life-saving. So as a country, on average,
That's not bad.
we are making progress. We've made incredible progress and
So
incredible
only
strides.
about 1 out of 10 or one.
Well, that's when you average all the life savings together. If you
Okay.
look at, I'm not sure if you were to look at, how many
Understood.
shelters.
Yes.
But the good
Okay.
news is we're obsessed with data at Best Friends, and we have this really, really cool dashboard. We're all about data and transparency. And so anyone can go onto our dashboard at bestfriends.org and look and see their county if it's no kill or not.
Awesome.
Yep.
So this is by county basis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So all shelters in those counties have to abide by the county rule.
Yeah, well, not all shelters are necessarily under county rule. It could be a municipal shelter,
And then
but
that would be an exception to the rule.
but we've got it broken down so you can see which shelters are in that county and who, if we're missing data, who we're missing data from.
Got it.
Because not everybody wants to get up their data.
Yes,
So,
absolutely. So that's great. So there's this big network and data on your end, and then you go and advocate for for the issues, right?
Yeah.
In general.
Yeah.
So one of the issues I heard yesterday was I interviewed state assemblyman from Arizona, John Kavanaugh, and he was talking about breed discrimination in housing.
Yeah.
Which that's one of the issues, and some others that come to mind is in my home, Orange County, we had a situation where actually this conservative activist, it's a little crazy. She had hoarded 140 Shih Tzus and Malteses, and basically they had to go break into her house and hazmat suits and remove 140 Shih Tzus and Malteses that were then rehomed through the Orange County Animal Center. So that was another issue. So there's animal hoarding's another issue, and just in general, it's I live out in the desert, and I have a property out there, and what I've been noticing there is a lot of people just dumping their dogs, and then there's always stray dogs. Whose dog is that?
Yeah.
They get hit on the highway.
Yeah.
It just breaks my heart.
Well, and that's why, honestly, when we talk about saving animals, it's really about meeting the human need and taking care of the other side of the leash. Because most people are actually good people, and in this country, they love their pet. They don't want to surrender their pet to the shelter. They don't want to dump their animal, but maybe they have resources. They don't have resources. They have needs. They need help with pet food or animal care, which can be expensive. And so the life-saving center that we're building in Bentonville, Arkansas is all about that. There's actually no cages. There will be no animals staying overnight.
Oh.
So it's an entire facility built around meeting the human need to care for animals. So we're going to have, spay and neuter, a low-cost clinic, a pet food pantry, but we're also going to have social workers there on site too, because we know that if we can help keep people healthy and housed, that means the animals get to stay and they're going to get their needs met too, and then we all win.
I just went to my friend Casey Montoya. She is with KTLA5, and she has a charity she started called Fixin' Fidos. And what they did was throughout, they started off in I think 2017 to provide low cost or no cost spay and neuters. But then after that, they noticed in the pandemic there was a lot of people that lost their jobs and were choosing between feeding themselves or feeding their animals. So that was so they kind of pivoted to help out with that need.
That's
so it's kind of very
right.
similar to what you were saying.
And the public wants to help. So leaning on those public-private partnerships, people who want to donate food or animal care services.
Right.
If that alleviates the burden on, again, this taxpayer-funded shelter,
Right.
we all win.
That's right.
And people want to keep their families. Nobody wants to have to choose between their pet or their home.
Absolutely.
And so we can solve for that.
Yeah. So what are your legislative initiatives for 2022? What is kind of the, obviously you have this new location in Arkansas that
Yeah.
you guys are, so you'll probably be busy with that, but what are the other things that you guys plan to do?
Yeah. Well, at the local level, we really look at local laws that enable, I mentioned community cat programs.
Mm-hmm.
So this may sound ridiculous, but there are numerous communities that have leash laws for cats.
What? Okay.
And that have other barriers for, cats living outdoors. And we all want to see fewer stray animals, right?
Yes.
But the way to do that actually is through community cat programs. And so it's just trap, neuter, vaccinate, but then return them to where they were. We don't need to kill them. If they're
Yes.
healthy, they're thriving. They're probably being cared for by, like I said, several little old ladies in the neighborhood who love them, right?
Yes.
If they look well fed, they are, right? So they're not suffering.
Yeah.
So that's not, we don't need to, separate it and kill that animal.
Yeah.
So looking at those areas of an ordinance that's actually causing the dog catcher model and rounding up a bunch of cats and costing us a lot of money, it's all unnecessary. So that's at the local level. And then the state level, you mentioned the housing insurance or housing in general. We know that housing barriers are the number one reported reason that people surrender their dogs to shelters. So we're really looking at government subsidized housing and making sure that, if it's a taxpayer-funded housing facility, it doesn't have nefarious things that cause pets to be separated from their owners, like breed bans.
Yeah.
And we all know, don't judge a book by its cover. How long is that, tried but true statement been around? It's true for dogs too. They're individuals, and it's all about their owners. So if you're a responsible owner, you should be judged on your behavior and your animal's behavior, and not based on how you look.
Yes.
And cause to be separated. So we have a bill in both chambers in Florida that's been filed. Next session will be in Texas, and in both of those states, it prohibits breed discrimination in public housing.
Great, which is what I was just talking about.
Yeah.
Yes.
But in Arizona, we're targeting the insurance piece of it.
Okay.
So, which is a little bit of a separate, so not the government subsidized housing facility, but the insurance providers for renters and homeowners insurance, who are, based on no actual scientific data, are putting policies or clauses that they will not renew your homeowner's insurance if you have a dog that has 10% DNA German Shepherd.
That is crazy.
That's insane.
Yes.
It's absolutely insane.
Yeah, so we need equality for all breeds, because some of the pit bulls I have met have been the nicest.
Oh, nanny dogs.
Oh.
I have a 19-month-old and 2 pit bulls.
Oh.
And they are her biggest protector.
Oh, that is too cute.
Sleep by the crib.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I wish you the best in your fight. Thank you for all you're doing. Can you tell the audience a little bit about where we can find you? Are you on social media?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, social media all the time. Also, bestfriends.org. The good news is we've got this thing called the 2025 Action Team. And so anyone can join our action team no matter where you live.
Okay.
And we will give you a toolkit and all the tools you need to go to your local elected official and communicate the problem and the solution.
Awesome. And then how about for regular, like fostering?
Oh,
and
100%. Foster is our future. It's actually not our future, it's the now. It's how we emptied the shelters during COVID, right? Because everyone said, I'm lonely, I'm going to go get a dog. So yeah, we need more people to foster. There's a million ways that you can help. Anyone can help. So.
And then I know a lot of like independent one-woman show rescues. How do we get them to work together with? Is there a way that you can work together?
Yes, so
with
we
them?
actually have a program called the Network Partners. So anyone who runs their own transport or animal rescue can join our Network Partner program, and that will immediately connect you to lots and lots of resources, technical assistance, grants, lots of resources, and you'll become a part of a bigger community and get lots of best practices.
I love that. Okay,
Yeah.
So Pugsley here was rescued by my friend Lexi, and I met Pugsley and Lexi at Tustin's Toyota Tales event, and basically she said right away, she's an amazing woman, Lexi. She runs Malibu Freedom Dog Rescue, and she goes out and has a network of fosters all the way from Tijuana to Ventura, and she knows how to place dogs in good homes. She knew that Pugsley was going to be I would provide a forever home for him. So
well, he seems to be smitten with you.
yeah, a little too much. But great, check out the website. We can get involved fostering, and for network partners, you said.
Join our network partner team.
Yeah. And also to get involved in the legislative action. I like that.
I mean, it is the quickest way to solving to if you think about it, when animals enter the shelter, that's an end of the line problem.
Why?
They're already in crisis. We've already failed them. We've failed their families. So let's work upstream, and policy is prevention.
Yes.
So we need more people to help us talk to their local elected officials.
I'm gonna quote you on that. That's a title when I do my write-up. Policy is prevention.
That's right.
We as dog lovers and dog owners all need to get involved in the political side and make sure that and I like this because it's local government.
That's right.
We go to our local government and ensure that we are part of the solution. So.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
So appreciate you taking the time, and give me your card so I can send you the article once I'm done. But give me some time because I got a lot of interviews
Okay.
to transcribe and everything. So
Awesome.
thank you so much.
Thank you.